Hi, it's Orit Esther Riter, and with all the talk that's going on all over the place, I said, you know what, let's go ahead and talk about some practical pieces of advice. As a certified energy therapist and practitioner, I said, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we could be doing in our everyday life, practical pieces of advice to help safeguard, take care of those lungs. So one of the amazing things about the lungs in terms of Chinese medicine is that lungs are very much connected to the skin. So in other words, as the lungs are in its ideal optimal state of health, so too our skin is optimally taken care of. What is the job of the skin? The job of the skin is to safeguard, protect, create an armor around the body. The skin is also the largest organ of the body, so it essentially enables us to extract and release things like toxins, sweat, things that the body doesn't need. It's the biggest organ that allows us to release anything that the body doesn't need. So when we take care of the lungs, we're essentially also directly impacting the skin. Why is that important? Because when we're talking about release, we're talking about the release of emotions, fears, sorrow, disappointments. We've spoken about this in past OR talks. And the idea of the lungs being in safeguarding, again, we're not just talking about what we could be doing physically, although I do want to refer to that today, but we also want to be talking about what we could be doing emotionally in our lives. How can I correct my emotions so that I could safeguard, create a sense of good energy, of a good energy flow inside my body so that my lungs could be at the most optimal functioning possible. In addition to that, something amazing about the lungs is the job of the lungs is to pump heated blood into the heart. What that means is if I want to safeguard my lungs, I have to make sure that I am opening up my heart. I want to make sure that my heart is warm, it's open, it's forgiving, it's letting go of regret, resentment, disappointment, sorrow, and so on and so forth. So these are just a couple of points that I want to bring across. But I also want to bring across a couple of various different things that you could be doing physically for your lungs, okay? So one of the things in terms of enabling your lungs to function, again, at its most optimal level, and remember, I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not claiming to be, I'm just giving you pieces of advice as an energy practitioner and things that I have acquired in terms of knowledge to know that it's good for you to have at home. I know we're not supposed to be roaming around town too much, but if you're already going out, why don't you make your way possibly to some stores and pick up some of the things that are great for you to have at home. One of the things is called Aspen Bach Remedy. It's a little bottle of Bach remedies. It's made out of a diluted remedy of flowers, but this specific aspen is from called Aspen Flower Bach Remedy. And Aspen remedy, out of 39 types of Bach remedies, is specifically targeted to help a person cope with fears that of course sit on the lungs, fears that are from an unexplainable source. We're just afraid right now. We don't even know sometimes what we're afraid of. So it's good for you to have Aspen Bach remedy. It's also very good for the lungs in general. The other beautiful Bach remedy that's great to have is cherry plum. Cherry plum is good in general for overall stress. It's good for respiratory, but it's also very good for calming down the possibility of being stressed out. Well, I don't know why I would be stressed out, right? Having the kids at home, but just in general, stressed out, feeling overwhelmed by emotions. Cherry plum is a great remedy, a Bach remedy also to have. The other thing I want to talk about are gemstones. So as a certified mineral and mineral and gemstone therapist, turquoise is wonderful to have. Wear it around your neck, put them as earrings, hold turquoise in your hands. Turquoise is well known because of its phosphorus mineral element. It's wonderful for purification. It's a wonderful homeopathy gemstone mineral to clear out the lungs. It's good to clear out pollutants in the air. It's good for inner calm. It helps release people from exhaustion. It's great for the immune system. It's good for regenerating tissue, right? It's also a very good property to help in terms of energy, to let out energy for viral infections and for anti-inflammatory. So very good to have your turquoise as well. Two other things I want to mention. One is eucalyptus oil. Eucalyptus oil, whether you use it diluted, and again, you always have to follow the instructions on the bottles. But eucalyptus oil, you don't want to use it as it on its own. You want to use it only when it's diluted. But when it's diluted, it's very good to rub it on the chest, on the glands. You might want to rub it on the pressure points of the temples. It's good to breathe in. It also helps to open up and stimulate the immune system, the nasal passages, anti-inflammatory. It soothes the chest. It speeds up healing. Lavender oil is also an amazing other aromatic oil. It's good because when you let it out through a diffuser, it helps to purify the air. The scent is very soothing, especially during moments of anxiety. It's very good for the respiratory system. It's good for suppressing the mucus buildup and so on as well. So again, follow the directions. Use it as a diffuser or dilute it and use it to actually as a rubbing remedy. Last but not least, I just want to bring one more point across in terms of the lungs. Lungs, in order to really keep our lungs safeguarded, again, keep it to a point where the energies of the lungs are sort of flowing and they're not stagnant, because when we talk energy, we talk about stagnation. We talk about incorrective pathways of the energy where it's not balanced. There's either too much energy or not enough energy. One of the most important things that we need to always pay attention to when it comes to lungs is to focus on living a happy, centered, calm life. I know it's so easy for me to say. And yes, like, okay, why are you telling me this? I know I need to be calm. I know that that's the optimal place for me to be in. But you have to understand that if you really want to keep your lungs in a safe, guarded place and protected, shielded from any viral, you need to know that you have to work on breathing and centering yourself, focusing on hope, believing deeply within. What is the idea of the lungs? It's a deep breath. It's a breath that comes from a godly place within. It's the idea of knowing that there are so many things going on in the depth of the world that we don't even know about, but we do know one thing, that Hashem is taking care of us. We do know that Hashem is safeguarding us, and we need to live in abundance of Emuna and bitachon and know that Hashem is in fact taking care of us. The air that we breathe is not something you have to pay for. It's a gift that Hashem gives us every moment. So don't forget that Emuna is going to safeguard your lungs more than anything that I've just said right now. Try to work on getting rid of any moments and thoughts of hopelessness, emotional pain, disappointments, feeling a lack of certainty, fears. That's what sits on our lungs and clogs them up and causes a stagnation, unfortunately, of the lungs. Breathe in new life, infuse yourself with Emuna, and don't forget all the other parts of it are very, very important. All the other parts of it, of course, are going to enable us to be connected to the physical effort that we have to put in to take care of ourselves. But Emuna is the key. Emuna healing is the noted job that we need to be doing right now inside of ourselves. So stay safe, stay healthy, and keep your Emuna up.